Today in Can Haz Armory, how to fix a dent in a mask. It really just takes the right tooling and a little bit of brute force, or otherwise known as percussive maintenance. So if you get a dent in the mask, and it can be anywhere, typically on the face, don't pray with the face, folks. The only time we're really worried about it is if it either is deep enough to maybe catch a point, or as I had happen on one lamp Paul, it's at the bottom of the mask where the channel is in the exchange. It actually dented the mask to the point where it was causing a gap between the mask and the channel. But they're all fixed the same way. All it requires is a hammer, a carriage bolt, and a sturdy surface like the floor. So I have a mask with a dent in it. I'll show you how to fix that. Stand by. Okay, so let's go over mask dents. This mask boy failed not for a dent because I think the weld cracked. I used it for other shots, like how to do a rivet and whatnot. What we're looking for dented masks is a dent that's deep enough to catch a point. If it's a shallow curve, a shallow concavity right here in the face of the mask, that's like that wide, we're not going to worry about that much because it's not going to catch anything. If it's a sharp dent anywhere that wide or deep or narrower and relatively deep that could catch a point, that's what we're worried about. They tend to happen right about here, in the lower half of the face, sometimes on the seam, which is a real bitch to get out. But if you have one and you want it gone, you got to get rid of it. So how do you do that? You can with some brute force and a hammer and what's called a carriage bolt. Now, carriage bolt you can see it's got a rounded top. Also has a right under the head is kind of a square base, because when it goes into a where it's going to go into, it will actually lock in place because of that squareness. But which one is the round part? A nice deep one. This is probably about an 8-inch. Is this 8-inch? Hang on a second. Yeah, it's about an 8-inch bolt to make sure I can reach deep inside a mask if I need to. So let's pretend then is right here where the A is, and it needs to be pounded out. So what I'm going to find me a piece of floor. I'm not going to actually pound here because A, I have no dent, and B, this is not the surface I pound on. I would go to a concrete or other hard floor because it needs something to pound it against. So I'm going to feel and find where the dent is. Dent right there. Put the carriage bolt head on the dent. So I'm pushing down on the carriage bolts. I know the dent's right underneath the head of the bolt. And then I have a hammer, and I'm just going to wang it away. Really, really hard, actually, not just taps, but bang, bang, bang. And the idea is to use it to push the dent out against the surface of the flooring. I do that, and then if it feels relatively smooth, it's fixed. Works on FI and non-FIA masks. So all you really need is application, good old-fashioned brute force, percussive maintenance, and that is how you would use a hammer and a carriage bolt to fix a dent in a mask. Happy armoring.